pick up? What are the receptors in their called? You are going to have what we refer to as maculae, and these maculae are going to have receptors on them that are going to pick up signal. You will have some that, for example, in your semicircular canals that are on a crest and a cristae. Okay? So what you're looking at here is a cristae. Cristae, right. Now, the saccule is going to have receptors. And what kind of signals would be reported to the brain? In other words, what activates them? What will activate them? It's not vibration. Okay. Static forces are going to act, no? So we have static forces. What are the other forces we have? Kinetic forces. But we can talk of it we can see it in terms of vertical movement and horizontal movement, as well as angular movement. Because movement has to be broken down. So it can either be movement in a line or movement on a circle. Okay? So if it is not in a line, it is going to be angular velocity. And if it is in a line, it is going to be horizontal or vertical velocity. Good. So your saccules, they are going to pick up vertical motion, right? And your utricle is going to respond to horizontal. And then you have your semicircular canal. That's the reason why they are in circles. Huh? Are they in circles? 3 semicircles? Right. So these are going to pick up angular velocity. Right. So if somebody closes your eyes and you're moving in the dark, you will be able to recognize that you have somebody spinning you around. And what will give that information back to your brain is information that is coming from the semicircular canals. Okay? So your semicircular canals will help you with angular velocity. Your saccule will pick up vertical velocity. The utricle picks up horizontal movement. Alright? So horizontal velocities. And all of these are going to velocity, you know, is terms of acceleration. So the change in acceleration is going to be picked up by these receptors, and that is going to generate signals that will be transmitted. If it is coming from the saccule and utricle vestibule, then it is going to be picked up by your vestibular ganglion. And if it is coming from the cochlear section, then the spiral ganglion is going to pick it up. Okay? So what we have here is this is going to be on the semicircular canals, and within the semicircular canals, you're going to have these crests, and the crests have the receptors on them, and inside the crest, then you're going to have these fibers of your vestibular nerve. Okay? So inside here, and then so they are going to be picked up. On the surface of this crest, you're going to have what is referred to as a copula, so that if there is movement, even the copula that is on the top can pick up the signals and its base can respond. So the base, it is just like the way in which this thing was cut, it got separated from its base. But this is the copula, and this is the base. So the base is going to have these receptors on the edge, and these receptors are going to pick up the movements. Alright, I just put that in interest because it's not oftentimes that you get a cut that shows that. So you might find even in your books, you probably might not even see the crest from the semicircular canals. Alright? Alright. Now let us look at the cochlear section. How many turns does the cochlea have?
3.
5. How big is it? It's not very big at all, you know. You know what? A red pea. You know red peas. Oh, the size of the cochlea. A red pea would be bigger than it. So it's very small. I will show you one on the real specimen so that you see it's not a big structure at all. But this is what it's going to look like, and the base of it, has 3 connections. There's a central piece which is referred to as what? Why is the center piece referred to as? Promontory? No, this is not promontory. The modulus, right. And the top of it, at the top of it, there is an opening that connects the 2 peripheral compartments. The 2 peripheral compartments, one of them is going to be connected to your oval window, and the other one is connected with your round window. So when, for instance, a vibration or let us say a signal hits the tympanic membrane, what is going to pick it up from there? The malleus picks it up, it sends it to the incus starts shaking and then sends it to the stapes. Good, the stapes start vibrating, and what is it doing? Stamping on which? On what? Oval window. Good, so it hits the oval window is filled with what? Perilymph, and that starts vibrating, right? And it vibrates, and the signal goes up to the top of this thing where the arrow is, and what it finds up there? A little opening called the helicotrema. So it runs from that down onto the other side, and that brings it into the tympani section. So it goes from vestibule through helicotrema, round onto tympani. At the end of the tympani, there's going to be a closure, but it is closed. And here that is closed. And what window is there? Round window. So sound is vibrating the vestibule chamber and sending it through the helicotrema and causing the tympani section to start vibrating. Good. And all of that activity is going to be picked up on some stuff which is on the modulus. So let us just look at this inside here, blow up and see what there is. Alright, now as you blow up, what is seen inside here? What is this? What's the point on? Spiral ganglia. Very good. Alright, so that you can see the spiral ganglia. And these spiral ganglia now are generating signals, and because they are picking them up from the compartments here. So we have 3 compartments here. There's this basal compartment, which is the scalar what? Down here. Tympani, good. If you have it too high, let's just take a kind of appreciate where it is. Good. So down here is tympani. In the middle here is the scala media. And over here is up here is the scala vestibular. So this is the upper compartment. So this is going to pick up the thing first, send it through helicotrema up the road, and then it run back to tympani. Now if we were to cut this across, what we find is that there's a partition between the scala vestibuli and the scala media. And that scala media, the partition is a resonance membrane, rhizos membrane, which is a double layered membrane. So this cell layer here that is going across is a double layered cell membrane. We are on this magnification just seeing about one of these cells showing up, but it is really a double layered membrane. And down here now, or rather over on the lateral part, we have 3 structures. This outer part, this is referred to as the optic capsule. This is bone on the optic capsule. Internal to the of the capsule, we have the spiral ligament. So this here is spiral ligament. And internal to this, we have a vascular layer here, which is the stria vascularis. So there are three membranes or three zones or three laminae that are lateral. The internal one is the stria vascularis, which if you look at it, you see some openings because it is richly supplied with blood. And the fluid that is produced by these cells comes in here. And that fluid is rich in potassium. So the concentration of potassium inside here, this is the endolymph, is in the vicinity of 150 milliequivalents per liter. Whereas the concentration of sodium is down to about 3, pretty low. So this is stria vascularis, this is the spiral ligament, and this is the aortic capsule, the bone on the outside, right? Now come down here and go across, and as you look at the, let us look at the spiral, the stria vascularis. So here you have stria vascularis. Let's look at another one over here. Spiral ligament, spiral ganglion rather. And what is the structure? What is this thing here? Is my navigation too much? Alright, let me take it down one notch. You recognize it now? What is it? Organ of Corti. And that is sitting on the basilar membrane. So this membrane that is going across here is the basilar membrane. What is this over here? This thing here? That. What is this? What is that? Stria vascularis. Good. Now the stria vascularis comes down. Let me just blow it up a little. Maybe you see there are things left here. So we get the stria vascularis, and this stria vascularis kind of comes down to a prominence here. This is because of the spiral prominence. And then you're going to have these cells now that are moving on here. And these are cells of Claudius. Cells of Claudius are going to give rise to some other cells which are referred to as the cells of Henson. And under them you're going to have OHS cells. These are cells that help in terms of the support of the lamina. What are these? What are these cells over here? Spiral ganglia, right. And the spiral ganglia basically have a nucleus and they have some cells around them. What do you call those cells around them? What? Satellite cells. So you can see all of these spiral ganglia and they have some cell around which is satellite cells. Alright, now let's look a little bit at the organ of Corti. Now the organ of Corti is really active, and the organ of Corti has cells which are supporting cells. And you also have some openings inside there. Some of these openings are referred to as spaces of Newell. The organ of Corti actually has some cells which are referred to as outer hair cells. These cells here are the outer hair cells. And you have about, on each organ, you have about 3 outer hair cells, and you have about 1 inner hair cell. So you have these 2, you can see the 3 outer hair cells here. And these cells are, they are pretty high, but at the tip of them, they do have some hairs. And these hairs are interacting with the membrane that is superior to them. What's the membrane referred to as? Yeah, there is a tectorial membrane. Okay. So then that is going to pick up the signal, that's going to vibrate, and to it is connected these same spiral ganglion cells, and then they are going to conduct the signal backwards. There are some nerves in this tract that is coming along here which are efferent. You know the regular nerves that are picking up. In other words, they are sensory. So when they are stimulated, they are going to send the signal up to the 8th nerve nucleus. But there are nerves inside here which are efferent. And you know what efferent nerves are going to muscle. But there are some efferent nerves inside here. They are referred to as Cochlear nerves. And what they do is that they try to inhibit. So for example, let's say a song is too loud. What they will do is kind of hyperpolarize the receptor, so that the receptor is harder to fire. And in that way you protect the organ of Corti. If there is no method of protecting, then what it means is just going to have real serious vibration inside there. Vibration enough to damage the organ. And so one of the things that the organ does is helps with coding and picking up different frequencies. And so different frequencies can be picked up by the hair cells. And some of them are going to vibrate at high, some will at medium, some of them at base frequency. But depending on the length of the hair cell, that is going to determine what frequency is picked up. And where the hair cells are long, they are going to be able to pick up the higher frequency. Yeah. Okay. Well, I did say that the air part was going to be a short thing because we want to move on to the growth part of it. Where's the yeah. Dampen the receptor or hyperpolarize the membrane so that it's harder to fire. Yes. OHAT? I don't know. OHAT. Maybe OHAT has his name attached. Yeah, but I don't know. Doctor, you know anything about this OHAT thing he's talking about? OHAT anastomosis? Sound more like a blood vessel thing. That inhibits. Maybe OHAT has his name on it. Could well be. But they are inhibitory fibers and they are efferent. And they help to dampen the receptor so that it doesn't fire off too much. As I said, you go down the road here, some people turn on a jukebox as if they are hearing Julia Potter, and they have to have it so high. Then you need some protection from that sound. So that's where the FM nerves will help in protecting.